Live from the studio of his parents' basement, the Have You Seen It podcast.
Hello and welcome back to the Have You Seen It podcast. My name is Mason Knight. Sitting across from me is the one and only Cash Kraus. But before we begin, if you guys can please be sure to smash that like button, comment below, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification as we drop videos here every single day. So with that said, Cash, what are we here reviewing today?
Oh, well, Mason, this is where the fun begins.
I love it. Dave, you're 2 for 2 right now.
Yeah, I'm
You got a lot of pressure, though, the next one.
Oh, I think I got something for next time. I got something for next time, okay. Yeah, we're here doing our Star Wars Celebration Week.
Yes.
A big fucking week for the High Side podcast.
It's a huge week. Big Star Wars fans, and it's crazy. We've never reviewed these films. So.
Yeah, we'll eventually have to review the original at some point, right?
Yes, but that's going to be like a... that'll be probably maybe next year or something.
Oh, yeah,
we'll do 4, 5,
that'd
6
be a while.
for
Yeah,
Star Wars Celebration.
something else will have to be coming out for us to do that.
Yeah.
But we're doing the prequels, baby.
We are. Let's go.
And we are doing arguably my favorite Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones.
Yeah.
This is the romance Star Wars.
Oh, boy. It's a space opera is what they call it. An epic space opera, and boy, is it.
God damn. Maybe the least amount of action in a Star Wars film.
Mm-hmm.
I think I don't even know where to begin. Mason, you like this film, so maybe you should start. Defend yourself.
I don't. It's definitely not in my top 5. As we discussed in Phantom Menace, where Phantom Menace hits 5. This one does not do that.
Not breach the top 5, huh?
It does not.
Not the top 5 or 50 percentile.
But,
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, it is. And, we talked about it briefly in Phantom Menace, but one of the main things that we talked about, too, is, like, the editing is definitely weird in this one, where it just jumps back and forth.
Yeah, they can't keep a tone in this one to help itself.
Yeah. But it's obviously 10 years after the events of Phantom Menace, and obviously being the Battle of Naboo. The Galactic Republic is threatened by the Separatist movement.
These Separatists, man, they're getting stronger.
They are getting stronger, getting better battle droids, too.
Yeah. Well, when you're just being funded by mega corporations.
Of course.
So you got the money. You got the scratch.
You got the money. You got the power.
And let me tell you,
you have a little Sith Lord on your side.
well,
too.
he's the head of the state.
He is.
Little Darth Tyrannus.
Oh yeah.
And I gotta say, I mean, these films, the second one, it is probably my least favorite Star Wars, but Count Dooku fucking kills it.
Yes, he does.
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
What a great introduction.
R.I.P. By the way.
Of course.
Not
yeah.
Dooku, but the actual
Christopher
actor.
Lee.
Christopher
Well,
Lee.
R.I.P. for Dooku. He didn't make it either.
Right, he didn't.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler. Revenge of the Sith.
Christopher Lee, man, of course. What an amazing actor. Was in 2 of the biggest franchises, Lord of the Rings and Star Wars.
Yep.
Absolutely insane. But, yeah. Count Dooku. Darth Tyrannus, maybe my favorite Sith.
Really?
He's got
the swag.
He's got the swagger.
He does.
His style of sword play is great too. The fencing style.
Yeah.
I love his hilt too.
The hilt is very unique too. It's got that slight curvature to it.
Yeah, and as far as canon go, he is one of the best duelists ever. Of any Jedi or it probably goes him, Mace Windu.
Right.
Who was
Mace Windu was ultra powerful.
Yeah, which you don't see much.
And when you look at like the canon and stuff now, I guess it's like the purple saber represents elements of
that's
the
what
dark
made him
side
such
as
a
well.
good duelist too. Was he was able to dip in. It's called like the Shatter or something where you can
Shatter Point.
Yeah, where you can
which is
go back and forth.
That book's not canon, but it's based on those elements.
Yeah, he's basically a gray Jedi. I don't even know if gray Jedi are canon anymore.
Yeah, I don't know if gray Jedi are, but it's.
But gray Jedi,
murky.
they don't follow the light or the dark.
Right.
They can be like, I can do whatever, and they always become super fucking powerful. But Mace, unfortunately, gets a bad rap.
Yes.
But yeah, Dooku, he was a great introduction as the bad guy in this one.
Yeah.
And of course, he gets killed off in a very lackluster way, like all great characters
villains
do.
do.
Yeah. And, but yeah, love Christopher Lee, love Count Dooku. He is and Darth Tyrannus. Can we say best Sith name?
It's pretty dope. Tyrannus is a dope Sith name.
It's
I do like Darth Malgus too. That's Knights of the Old Republic.
That's a good
but
one,
that's
too,
a good
yeah.
one too.
Plagueis is really good too because
Darth
it
Plagueis,
sounds like he's
yeah.
spreading a plague everywhere.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, and he was. He was trying to immortalize himself.
Yeah, but this one, man, holy shit, we got a lot of love in this one. And Anakin is the biggest bitch in this one.
Oh,
he's so miserable.
whiny. And it's
Oh.
not Hayden Christensen's fault at all. And they, like a lot of people,
I
gave
feel
him
bad.
hate.
But he's like this emo version of like this. He's
Dude,
so,
that scene when they're on Coruscant and like they're leaving and he's talking to Padme in her room, he's like, "It's not fair."
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, you're a grown man. Knock it off.
Hey, guy, I don't
Knock
know, you
it
know,
off.
you were in the slave trade 10 years
Yeah.
and we pulled your ass out. I mean, you're living pretty nice right now.
You want to
But
tell
he
me
is
what's not fair?
the least appreciative of everything he's been given.
When he's so back and forth, he's like, Obi-Wan's like a father to me, but
But I'll
fuck
kill
guy,
that
I hate
bastard
him.
in heart.
Yeah, but I'll cut him if I got a chance. As soon as he's not looking.
Even Padme is like,
Bro, relax.
we've only met each other like a week, dude. Chill out. He's like that weird emo kid who like,
Oh, for sure.
you talk to him for 2 seconds. He's like, oh, we're getting married now. We're in
Well,
love
it's
now.
that same. It's the same scene where he like walks up to her and like basically does the old sniff
Yeah,
her
it's-
hair, and she's like, "I don't like when you look at me like this." And he's like, I'm like, bro, you're being
He
creepy.
is. Oh, dude, he
You're
is
being creepy. Dude.
for sure. Yeah, but he is just like he's the worst character in this one.
Yeah.
He is just every time you see him on screen, he's like just whining about something, dude.
Yeah, he's definitely whiny in this one.
God damn, I don't know why they would write that character. I mean, clearly they wanted to show that he was like a guy that his passions would get in the way,
Right.
But they too much.
Yeah, he's very emotional in this
Yeah,
one.
I know. For like a Jedi, and then the whole time he's like, "Why won't they make me Jedi?"
Yeah.
Dude, you got you're mature like a 12-year-old.
I mean, when you, as a grown man, go, "It's not fair." It's like maybe you're not ready to be a Jedi.
Stomping
yet.
his feet out of there, like what the
pouting. He's got the pouty lip.
It's
come on.
so no wonder Obi-Wan spends most of the movie away from this
When
fucking douche.
Obi-Wan half the time is like this, he's like, "Oh God." This
I know. Give me a mission anywhere to get away from this guy, and he does.
Yeah, he does. Thank God for him.
Thank
he gets
God
a little
for-
vacay.
The only thing saving this movie is Obi-Wan's subplot of
Yeah, the
him
subplot's great.
having a crazy adventure.
Yeah, planet Geonosis.
Yeah. No one in the fucking galaxy or this massive republic or the all-seeing Jedi know that there is a planet who won the planet has disappeared.
Right, completely. Oh, you're talking about Camino here.
Is that not raising red flags when planets disappear? Is there not a warning that goes
When how
out?
smug was that
Is there an
librarian?
Amber Alert for planets?
Yeah. Well, how smug was that librarian when she's like, "If it's not in the Jedi archives,
That
then it
librarian-
does not exist."
I can't remember what her name is, but she's a character.
Yeah, she
Because
is.
every the butler, the mailman, they all have this huge background now because the Star Wars guys are freaks.
She does actually have a.
She's
a
very
huge
powerful.
Background, yeah.
Yeah. She does something where she like doesn't use a lightsaber or something, but she was supposed to be super. Of course, she dies in a. She gets shot one time and she's dead.
She's dead. But I mean,
Because they
great
just go
backstory.
through these. That's one thing that just infuriates me, especially about the next film, is all these Jedis were built up to be so fucking strong.
Yep.
And even in the Clone Wars show, you get more time with these Jedis, and then they die
Instantly.
so fucking fast. Even by Palpatine, who was never supposed to be that great with a lightsaber, he's just poking these guys.
I know, and they're just well in that. Yeah, we'll talk about Revenge of the Sith later, but yeah, that was one thing that irritated me in that scene. I was like,
what do we have? A short day of shooting? Like we could.
like, all right, so Sidious, just go like this,
Yeah.
and then he'll go, oh,
Exactly. Just
I'm
do like
"What?"
something like this or something, and he'll just fall
He'll
down.
fall. Yeah, yeah. We got to get this wrapping up, okay? We're on
Samuel's
crunch time.
gotta go. He's got shit to do.
We're paying him $2.5 million.
He's got no fucking clue what's going on. He's getting angry. He's getting upset.
And when he starts throwing around motherfuckers, we
Yeah,
gotta
we gotta
wrap
wrap
it
it
up for the day.
It's so weird, but
But I do love getting introduced here on the planet Kamino with obviously the clone,
that's
the clone
one
army
thing
and Cypher DS.
That's one thing I love. That's definitely one thing I love about this film is the conspiracy behind it. We get. I wanted more of that for sure. I don't need trade federations, but I like knowing that this plan was set in place a long fucking time ago.
Well, and that's kind of what I mean with Trade Federation in episode 1 that kind of morphs itself into, in some capacity, to the separatist movement. Like, I really like the separatists.
Yeah, but that whole thing was kind of like, that was already happening, and then the Sith were like, hey, we can get in on this. Yeah. But the Cypher DS thing, that was kind of all put in place very early on. Then the Sith kind of found out about that too, and they're like, oh, Cypher DS might have an accident.
Right. We might be able to put in an extra order here.
Cypher DS might fall down an elevator shaft or something. You might never see the guy again. It's a real mobster hit.
It is. It definitely was.
But I love that, man. And like, you just keep getting that name, Cypher DS. It's like, it's got a big mystery to it. They don't go in a lot into that.
No.
But if you just watch the movie, you'd be really wondering, like, what the fuck was this guy thinking? He was a Jedi Master on the council at one point.
Yep.
We get that in the movie. And he said one day he woke up thinking, hey, I need a big clone army. And we've all had that.
Of course, we've all had that epiphany in our minds of, you know
Woke up
what?
in a night sweat. What the fuck?
I need an army.
Of one guy.
And I love this too because, obviously we all know in the original trilogy, Boba Fett, and how big of a character.
Yeah,
and how
but they
much of a
set that up
legacy.
so beautifully.
They did. They really did. Because the whole story of Jango Fett.
Even though
and then having
Jango dies.
I know.
Another of the dumbest ways.
I know, but he wanted one unaltered clone, one completely unaltered clone with no growth hormones. And I say that it's not growth hormones, but the accelerated growth that all the other clones have.
Right.
He wanted like a true pure clone of himself.
And they didn't have it's something processor chip or something that would improve them.
Yeah.
Which ended up being embedded with Order 66, which Cypher DS put in there as a safety thing so that wouldn't happen.
Well,
and then Darth Sidious was like, you can also just
change some things. Well, you see that in the Clone Wars too, the animated show, which I like.
And the Bad Batch gets into that too, that they didn't have that. So
and I love, that's one of the best. So the actual film Attack of the Clones might not have been the best, but
one of the best Star Wars things ever.
Series ever. And Dave Filoni, I'm telling you right now, he is one of my favorite people consistently working on Star Wars.
Oh yeah, he's
he
awesome.
is incredible. I mean, 7 awesome seasons of Attack of the Clones,
and the Bad
Clone
Batch,
Wars,
which they
season 2
just released.
I know, dude. I'm so excited
for Star Wars Celebration.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
So.
He's amazing. Yeah. That is one good thing is that, and all the animated shows have been so fucking good.
They've been great.
They've all have been so much better than the majority of the films. It's
I gotta be honest though, like I like Rebels. I like Rebels, but I really like Attack of the Clones and Bad Batch.
You're missing. Rebels is one of my favorite Star Wars things of anything.
Really?
Yeah, it's so good, dude. Yeah. You're missing out by not getting it. Thrawn is a huge fucking character in that, dude. Yeah. He's like the main bad guy.
Well, and I've got 2 more books, and I've read every single Thrawn book out there.
Did you think you would like Rebels? Because he is huge in Rebels. Yeah. And you get Darth Vader in Rebels. You get Maul.
You get Maul quite a bit. But unfortunately, spoiler for anyone who hasn't watched all Rebels, but he actually ends up dying in Rebels.
Well, he's got to die at some point. The dude was in bad shape in Rebels. He was so evil that he just was completely clouded in Rebels.
I just didn't want him to die. Yeah, I love Maul.
He's got to go die. You can't. How many ways can you cut that guy in half?
Yeah.
He had a spider body at one point.
He did, yeah. He absolutely
He's
did.
gone through so many versions of legs. Yeah. But yeah, man, like you said, I love that whole thing because it's the conspiracy that Darth Tyrannus was working with Jango Fett. And like Jango Fett knew the whole time that there would be some kind of... That's why he said, I want one kid, because he knew. So there's a big conspiracy with the whole thing. And the people on Kamino don't even know what's happening.
No. But they're like, hey, we'll take your credits.
I always like that too when they're like, oh, we've been expecting you.
And Obi-Wan's like, yes, you have been expecting.
Yeah, and they're like, Cypher DS will be so happy to learn his army is ready. And they're like, well, Cypher DS died a decade ago.
But he sent me. He actually just contacted me. So
they're like, look, we don't give a fuck. As long as the money's coming in.
Right, as long as them credits are rolling in, we're good. We don't care.
But yeah, I like all that bit. But that part, all these scenes we're talking about are intercut every 45 seconds.
Yeah.
With a scene
with the love story
of
of
Anakin again
and Padme.
frolicking in a field. So many fields in
Rolling
this one.
around. Anakin getting on top of some sort of alien
bucks
beast.
the shit out of
getting
it.
bucked, pretending to be dead.
Yeah, it's just so stupid.
It's silly. I mean, I
That
get
could've
it. You
been-
have to show they fall in love, but you could have shortened it.
Could have been down to one scene.
Yeah, it could have literally just been like, "Oh, I love you now," and I would have been fine with it. you
Or
know?
one field scene.
right? Not multiple.
Got him out.
Yeah,
There's a scene where they're like eating pears for a long time.
yeah, and he
this-
uses the Force and cuts it for her, and then sends it back.
It's
which
a
is in the
20-minute scene.
Vader
It's a
comic
20
books. It's so funny because I'm going through the comic books right now, the 2020 ones, and it's all about like Padme and everything. But they're hashing all of Attack of the Clones film with his
brutal.
memories.
It's brutal. But and again, it's like I swear we don't get action until 2 hours into this fucking film.
Yeah, there's I mean, outside of the initial like assassination attempt on Padme with the bounty hunter, that's not really action. It was more like a epic.
They always
chase
have the
scene.
blow up thing. Yeah, exactly. And probably the one of my favorite parts of this film that always was Dex Diner when they go into the diner. 'Cause that's kind of like their canteen in this one.
It is.
It's like, and I love that
You
kind
want
of.
some death sticks? You don't want to sell me any death sticks.
I don't want to say any death sticks.
You want to go home and rethink your life. I want to go home and rethink my life.
Literally, that's what the Jedi should be doing.
Yeah.
That is doing so
Saving
much
lives.
more good than what they're actually doing, which ends up doing not good at all.
Right.
They should be helping people that are addicted to death sticks.
It'd be saving a lot of lives.
Yeah.
I love seeing Slave 1 too, Jango Fett's ship
So
in
awesome.
this. That's pretty cool. In that metallic.
I know. I love how everyone always questions like if Django's good or not. His ship is called Slave 1. That
Right.
guy can't.
And he's a bounty hunter.
can't
Like
be,
he's probably not the best guy.
No, he can't be. But yeah, Slave 1 is awesome. It's a ship where you never know, is it upside down? Is it up? It's a weird ship.
It is weird. It's very weird. Yeah. I don't know, I was watching Star Wars Celebration. It was so cool to see. They were just talking father and son, Jango and Boba.
Mm-hmm.
And they were just talking about all those scenes that they shot. But as you brought up in Phantom Menace, literally they were making fun of it because they're like, it's all green screen. So it's like, whoa,
Yeah, I
whoa.
know.
And you can tell. You can tell with the kid.
Oh, well,
He's like, look out over there.
no one's doing worse of the job than Jake Lloyd in the first one in the pod racing scene. Where
Yeah.
they're like, whoa, now this is pod racing.
Yeah.
It's
Poor kid. It's not his fault, but it is. No, I'm just joking.
yeah. So the main action we get is when they go on what's the planet?
Geonosis with the
Geonosis.
epic battle scene
Yeah.
at the end. Yeah.
Again, it's like you're watching the whole movie for like the last 20 minutes of the film. But
And it's so epic because when I was a kid, obviously, the first film I ever saw, Star Wars, I hate to admit it, but it's just true. It came out when I was like 5. And the first film I ever saw was Phantom Menace. And then when Attack of the Clones came out, saw it in theaters like 3 times as a kid, and then had the DVD. I must have watched this final battle scene 300 times as a kid.
yeah, see, I think it all depends on what movie you owned as a kid.
Right, yes, for sure.
Because I owned Phantom Menace on VHS. So
Yep.
I played Phantom Menace a ton on VHS. I probably worn the VHS out.
Yeah, probably.
Because that by far was my favorite one as a kid, was Phantom Menace. Like out of all of them now, my taste is a little more refined.
Yeah.
So I can go back and I see the flaws in those for sure. But yeah, it's whatever one you grew up with and you saw a lot of.
You owned.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
again,
yeah.
as a
I only
kid-
own one of them.
Right. And as a kid, I would like rewatch the same film every single day.
So would I.
All
yeah.
the time.
That's why I've
you
seen
know?
Con Air 30 times.
Yeah.
I had it on VHS. But yeah, we get more. They establish emergency powers. They have to do a vote, of course. Guess who gets voted in?
Oh, let me guess. Supreme Chancellor Palpatine.
Sheev Palpatine. Yeah, who would have guessed?
We also have to talk about this because Anakin throughout this whole film is getting bad dreams. He's always got bad dreams. And his mother, Shmi, is calling out,
Shmi,
Anakin. And she seems to be in trouble. So we have that whole kind of like side plot. After we get like an hour of Anakin and Padme falling in love, then it's like, I got to go save my mom.
Well, this is what I did not like about the Book of Boba Fett either, is they totally retconned the Tusken Raiders to be good guys.
They did.
And they were going hard on the Tusken Raiders in these first movies.
They really were.
Remember them at the pod race?
Yep,
They're
they were shooting at them,
which is insane.
and
they
blew
don't.
up one.
Yeah, multiple, I think.
Yeah.
And in this one, they're just slavers. In Book of Boba Fett, they're like, oh, they're misunderstood. No, they were assholes.
They were not great.
But they're bad guys in this one. And Shmi is
Kidnapped.
And he butchers them. That's classic. He's just prepping himself for
I actually liked
younglings.
that scene because that was awesome. As soon as he comes out of one of those huts, he cuts both of them in half, but it's diagonally in half, and you just see the body parts slide. I loved it.
Yeah,
And then the children die as well. He slaughtered the women and children.
That's what I'm saying. He's just prepping himself for a little.
The younglings.
It's like, I got a knack at this thing.
I'm pretty good at killing kids. I got to be honest.
They go down so easy.
Way easier than anyone else.
It feels like you're barely even swiping at him.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is all shit that the Jedi clearly should have picked up on. Like he was murdering villages.
Right.
Well, they were so clouded, no one
knew.
But the Sith picked up on it immediately.
Instantly.
Like,
but Yoda's like sitting there meditating. He's like, so much pain.
Well, what I love of the first one is no one wanted this fucking Qui-Gon Jinn. I mean, you could say in the long run he saved the galaxy, but he put him through a lot of pain to get there.
Yeah. And it definitely balanced the Force, but in a way that they didn't think it was going to balance the Force. The prophecy kind of sucks.
30 years for it to happen? Yeah. And to be honest, maybe if had Anakin not even ever been adopted, maybe the Sith would not have made it.
Been as powerful.
Because Mace Windu, without Anakin, would have killed
Palpatine. For sure. Sidious, whatever.
So had Qui-Gon not have been like so adamant about training him, this whole thing would have never happened.
And thank God, then we wouldn't have had Rey being born.
Yeah, but maybe the thing would have been that the Jedi would get so powerful and so bureaucratical that they would end up collapsing on because that's where it was heading.
And Lord Tyrannus, whatever, Count Dooku, we get it. He was a Jedi as well.
No, regardless, there would have been a big war.
Yeah,
and it's always been talked about that Palpatine never needed Vader. That it was just one thing to be like one big fuck you to the Jedi. That I took your chosen one and made him. So that's what is always well, at least what I has been told has been canon was that like in certain books and stuff he talks about how he never needed Vader at all.
Well, he talks about it in the comic books too.
Yeah,
like he'll put him through fear and anger over and over and
and that he could have used anyone as a Sith for that tool.
Well, and it's crazy because in the comic books, which are canon, because it was 2020 and Disney and Marvel,
anything that comes out of Marvel now is canon.
Yeah. But he re-tortures Vader because he disobeys him, takes him back to Mustafar, and lights his ass on fire and cuts off his limbs and makes him relive the whole thing. I'm like, this is dark.
If you haven't read those comics are awesome because it happens like right when he turns into Darth Vader, and he's like,
it's right after Empire Strikes Back,
and you don't see him because like the Darth Vader we get in the original trilogy is he's already a hardened man, and there's nothing left. But in those new ones, he's really going through some shit. Yeah. And really, his only job is to hunt other Jedi in their early days. Like it's a simple job.
It's pretty simple, yeah.
In the trilogies, though, he's running shit. Yeah. He's like, Anyways, I could talk about anything but this film.
I know we've tended not to talk about. It's still Star Wars, at least.
It is, but man, did they get rid of Jar Jar in this one? It's so funny how quickly they went back on that.
Yeah, they were like, maybe not the best character. When it's in like, I feel so bad saying it because like. It was super annoying to watch Attack of the Clones. I just watched because I'm rewatching it again, and I was on episode 13, and Jar Jar's in the episode, and like I'm just like, why? I don't need it. Like I get it, he's a fumbling idiot, and it always works out.
That first season of Attack of the Clones is that first season always feels like it was geared for a much younger audience, and it gets more and more mature.
It gets more mature.
That first season is like if you got to get past that first season because there's some really like kid like when they have to go find like Jabba Hutt's son or whatever,
Yep.
and like Stinky Hut or whatever his name is. That scene, that whole episode's hard to watch.
Yeah.
But it gets going.
It does.
It definitely gets going for sure.
Well, the
But-
final season was great. I actually thought they did a really good job with that. They wrapped a nice little bow on it.
Oh, for sure, yeah. But let's talk about Jango Fett. We got to talk about his death. 'Cause,
Yeah.
man, oh God, does he go like Boba Fett? Pretty lackluster. God damn. I'm so disappointed in this death always.
Oh, man.
But he's going up against Mace Windu.
yeah, what can you do?
Well, had he not been trampled by,
By
that,
that bull thing, yeah.
he would have been fine.
He would have.
His whole thing is hit, jetpack out.
Yeah.
Hit, jetpack out.
Problem, he got trampled, and then his jetpack
didn't
didn't
work.
work. Not
A
good.
Fett without his jetpack is
It's
useless.
useless.
He's useless.
Yeah, it's not going to go well for him.
Yeah, and a Fett without his head is no good either.
Is dead.
I love that. I always wanted them to redo the scene of when Boba Fett picks up his helmet.
And the
I want
head just comes out.
It's like a slow.
Fuck,
It
I
just-
should have done this.
John's like, oh my! He just scares us.
Dad?
Dad.
His
no
eyes
way-
are just all bulgy.
There's no way that head is staying in.
No, of course it's not.
Why is it not
Why?
sliding out? And it should have been like the slowest slide.
Yeah, just like bloody and gross. Just tendons.
And then it flops down. And he just freaks the fuck out. Yeah.
It's brutal. So funny.
Such
though.
a stupid death, though. Man,
is.
it sucked. Yeah. But maybe the most we get of Mace Windu, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't get a lot of Windu, which sucks.
But the best battle we talked about, and I remember watching this in theaters too. This is the scene I remember in the theaters freaking out when you hear that little cane. What the hell are you telling
Yeah, what is
that
that?
can't be good. Because there's an awesome duel with Obi-Wan and Anakin against Darth
Dooku.
Tyrannus.
Yeah, at the end.
Kicks their ass, man.
Yeah.
He is, and he
Well,
says
it's
right
'cause
off
they're
the
not.
he says right off the bat, you have no shot.
Yeah.
He tells him like he's.
Well, the thing is, they weren't. Again, this is the end of Attack of the Clones. Anakin is still like not a fully developed Jedi at this point.
But Obi-Wan
And
is.
and Obi-Wan is. But Anakin does not work with Obi-Wan at all.
Yeah, because
because
he's so.
he has a lot to learn still.
Well, at least they stuck with how annoying this character was throughout.
Yeah,
the
that's true.
consistent.
The consistency was there.
Like he's been trained for 10 years now, and he's just rushing this guy.
And Obi-Wan was just like, again. God.
Not only that, but they know who Count Dooku is.
Right.
Everyone is aware that Count Dooku is arguably the best duelist that's ever wielded a lightsaber.
Yeah.
He was Yoda's.
It was a potty one.
He was
Yeah.
trained by the most powerful Jedi that's ever lived.
Well, that's the arrogance of Anakin. You could see it on full display in this film, which is actually good. You want to see it, obviously.
he gets taught a lesson.
Oh, he does.
God damn, he gets his ass.
One less hand, too.
Yeah. I mean, he loses that hand how many fucking times?
And his lightsaber. God, he loses his
He goes through
lightsaber all
lightsabers
the
like you're
time.
not.
Yeah, it's wild.
You gotta start charging him for those. But yeah, gets their ass kicked by Dr. Rance, which is fucking awesome.
Yep.
Absolutely works both of them. But one guy everyone's scared of is that little 1.5-foot green menace, man. When I love that scene. I remember freaking out when he comes and walking with the cane. He's wonking it.
Yeah.
Like he's all stiff.
Right,
Like,
like,
his joints are.
Well, and
then he
too,
throws that cane down angrily.
but first, Tyrannus strikes him.
Yeah.
And then he falls, and he pretends like, oh, I can't do anything. Actually, no, that was Sidious and Revenge. Never mind.
You're mixing it up.
I'm missing that one.
What he does do lightning, and he stops it with his saber.
Yes. That's what it was.
It's not till number 3 where he stops it with his hands, where like Yoda is. But in this one, Tyrannus does do the giant tower, tips it over, and Yoda starts shifting it around. But
Well,
yeah,
I love this duel too because like Yoda's doing
how
flips
the
off
fuck
of
you fight Yoda?
everything. I don't know. How do you
literally,
defend that?
it's just a green blur.
It's crazy.
Tyrannus, it's just you block everything. That's
Yeah.
it. You can't attack that. It's a small target.
It is very small.
And I love his lightsaber too. It's like a foot shorter than everyone else's.
Of course.
But
any longer, and he couldn't,
I know,
go this way or anything. He couldn't
But when he
use it.
throws in that cane, man, I mean, I waited a long fucking time at that point to see
it was
Yoda
so
fight with a
cool.
lightsaber. Because you only saw old Yoda in the original.
Yep.
And in the first one, none of the Jedi fight ever.
Right.
I mean, you barely even get the name of Mace Windu until the very end. But in this one, he finally throws down. My God.
It was awesome. It was
Tyrannus like, okay, that's enough.
He goes, I'm going to jump on my cruiser here and get the hell out of here.
You can't beat the Master, man.
You cannot.
Tyrannus is good, but you cannot beat little Yoda. Little ball of energy. Crazy. Yeah.
And this is where, at the very end, too, we get introduced to what will later be known in the originals as the Death Star.
Yes, I forgot the big plans.
Yep.
Yeah, I forgot that is how it ends. Yep.
Yeah, because they will show the little hologram, and it's the Death Star, and which is kind of a cool,
It's in its early stages.
yeah, super early stages. Yeah, it's not in development or anything like that.
This was before they didn't have to mention a Death Star in every single Star Wars.
of course, yes.
Nowadays, every single one has to have a version of the Death Star.
Yep.
It's so shitty. But starting out in this one, they do it every time.
Right.
Although I don't think in Revenge of the Sith they don't bring it up, do they? I don't think.
No, I don't think they do.
Thank God. Yeah, you don't need it in every one. We need one Death Star, and that's it. But yeah, it ends with a giant battle.
Yep.
But they're just droids, and that's one thing I hate about these films. Is they just remake them.
Yeah.
Just keep making them.
But the film officially ends with, obviously, Anakin Skywalker and Padme getting married.
Yes, secret
Against
ceremony.
the Jedi will and against, she's a senator. She can't marry a Jedi. Jedi aren't supposed to get married. They're not supposed to have attachments.
They're priests. Yeah. I know. He's breaking every rule.
Every single rule.
And even though they have cameras everywhere, we find out later, because remember where they're going in Revenge of the Sith? Everything he did,
they had recollection of, but hey, whatever. It is what it
they're
is.
so oblivious of the shit he's got going on.
I know.
If someone just sat down and talked to this kid,
I know.
Hey, what's happening? What's going on in your
what
head?
What are you dealing with right now? Yeah.
Let us in.
Maybe if the Jedi ever get formed, the Jedi Council, maybe they can hire some, therapists.
Some Jedi
counseling.
counselors.
Yeah, or counselors. Yeah, we got the Jedi Council.
Jedi
and the
counselors. Yeah. All these guys are clearly got some trauma.
Oh, for sure. Some PTSD.
Torn away from their families. Very
Cutting
young.
people in half all the time. I mean, it'll get to you after a while.
How many heads you got to see lopped off till you started dreaming of them?
Right. Cauterized or not. It's still brutal.
It's brutal. Yeah.
Oh, man.
They were too big. They had to fail.
But I love it. I love it. I'm having a lot of fun reviewing these. But
Oh, yeah. Yeah, these have been great.
that is our time.
That is it.
That's
That is it for episode 2, Attack. And look at the poster. I fucking hate that poster, dude. I
It's so
hate that
funny.
poster.
I love it.
They want to make it just so clear what kind of movie that was.
Oh,
Where
yeah.
it's a love
Definitely
story.
a space soap opera. I would call it soap opera, but hey, whatever. I still like it, though. I do. I like all of these prequels. They age like fine wine, as I have often said. So,
Yeah.
all right, everyone. That is our review for Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. If you guys like what you've seen here, please be sure to smash that like button, comment below, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notifications. We drop videos here every single day. Thanks so much for watching and listening. My name is Mason Knight. That is Cash Krause. Until next time.
Bye.